Welcome back to Berlin, Germany, where Vitality and Fnatic are on stage. We're about to take to the Rift in a moment or two. Quickshot and Travel will be bringing the action from the caster desk. And an interesting matchup when we look at some of the results.
You know how serious this is, Trevor?
Tell me.
I've taken my shoes off.
Oh, okay. Tell me why.
I'm ready to jump up and down.
All right, tell me why. What are we going to get excited about and which players are you focusing on?
I mean, it's brawly. Like, we have the ultimate brawl team, which is Vitality, bringing in the assassins, bringing in the resource heavy, that making it work at some points in the game, right? And then you have Bwipo. He takes his hands onto the Viego and he starts taking the skirmish back to them. So I'm just very excited to see blood.
One of the things that we were talking about in our prep for this game was just how sort of adaptable or creative Fnatic have been in their responses in some of the champions that they've selected specifically for their opponents. So what will their answer be today? And what impact I think will Leader have? That's where my eyes are going to be. He's one of the most sort of like specific players. He really has a firm belief and approach, but it also means it can be countered by Fnatic.
Yeah, absolutely, especially when what you're bringing to the table is a lot of melee champions, and then you have a Ryze and a Lucian as the only two lanes that he has showed so far, right? So it could be technically quite counterable, but they've made it work over and over again.
Okay, now what will Shigenda bring back to the roster? So of course, he will be making his summer debut. Played with the team throughout spring, and as soon as we dive into the picks and bans, it's going to be Kalista Thresh removed from the pool.
Tell you what though, I was looking at Shigenda and what has been playing in the LFL in Vitality B, and there's quite a bit of Lulu there. And if something that a lot of these champions like, such as the ADCs, Leader and Selfmade, or the more of the assassin aggressive champions, I think Lulu fits the bill so well.
Yeah, it really does. It will enable players like Selfmade, Leader, as well as Crownshot in the later stages. Viego find himself banned away. That's more of a focus on Bwipo, of course, who's played that to exceptional ability. And Xin Zhao, again, red side ban. So Gwen is still one of the options that are up. Lee Sin still up, and it will be the Gwen first pick here for Vitality.
Now, you've got a lot of replies. You've got the Nocturne that's unbanned. You can also go with something like the Twisted Fate for Niski. So one you deny vision, the other one you get vision, and you can try to play a lot more aggressive with that, especially since we know what Fnatic can do with vision and how easy they are on the trigger to punish you.
Oh, indeed. So that Nocturne will now be locked in, followed up by the Tristana for upset. This will be the third time he's played this in summer. 1-1 and lost one from his two previous games. The Lee Sin locked in as well for Vitality. Still a number of options where we can see those champions going. I mean, earlier today we saw that Gwen in the jungle, and it worked out, and Ziggs is locked in.
This could be Crownshot. This could be Crownshot taking the Ziggs down in the bot lane. The Ziggs was recently buffed. He's much stronger right now. He's as Flex you said last week, he's a champion we're expecting to see due to that, and he can be Flex mid or bot.
Okay, this is very, very interesting.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't see Leader for a guy that would play the Ziggs, but you never know. He's a man of surprises.
He really is. I think he has not surprised a huge amount in the champion pool, the style of play. However, maybe today is the day. It'll be an Alistar to round out phase 1. Okay, so there's still some options here for where that Nocturne's going to play, but what does Vitality need to do to round out this composition now? Because you've got some pick, you've got push.
Get rid of the Twisted Fate. I think get rid of the Twisted Fate. Niski was so instrumental on the Twisted Fate last time he had it in his hands, and you definitely don't want, with his heavy skirmishing champions such as Gwen and Lee Sin, to have to worry about a Twisted Fate jumping out of nowhere together with the Nocturne as well. So anything that's brawly, anything that can dive in, you just get rid of it. The Sylas here does the job as well.
Okay, so that will fit the bill. What you were looking forward to, it'll be the Lucian that was banned away from Fnatic.
So they do believe it is Crownshot on the Ziggs because Leader is playing the Lucian mid. We talked about Lucian and Ryze being his only two ranged champions, so they're forcing him onto a melee.
Well, forcing him or denying one of the options that could complement the team composition. Sure. Twisted Fate, will it be the champion that's banned away here in the last ban for Vitality? And where do they round out the composition? Now I'm seeing obviously some pick potential, some sort of flanking power from that Lee Sin and the Gwen. I'm wondering about sort of frontline, or if they want some more engage on Vitality's side. And the question is, what will Bwipo run in the jungle?
It could very well be the Nocturne. He can run pretty much whatever he wants. He can make Soraka jungle work. He made Kathos work after so many seasons. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him on the Nocturne, even though Nocturne top lane is not a bad pick, but you can't influence them up as easy as you can from mid and jungle.
Not the case, and there is only one game of Nocturne top from Adam, not yet played by Whipper in the jungle. The set will now be locked in, so still some flexibility, some options available. But what I do see is a trend, the forward button, the go in, Nocturne, Alistar, Set, Tristan, all champions able to jump into your face. And a similar sort of been matched here. Hyllisang, Gwen, now the Leona, which we're expecting to join Ziggs in the bottom.
And what is it? Here's where we're going to find out where everything goes. It could still be something that can be flexed around. We don't know if the Gwen is top, mid, jungle. I think at this point, I'm 100% sure that Crownshot is going to be rocking that Ziggs down the bot lane. And if that gets locked in, that's exactly what Leader run in the previous game these two teams played against each other.
Okay, so Yone probably in Leader's hands in the mid lane. We would expect Selfmade to run the
on
Lee
the Gwen.
On the Gwen. We want to see him there. And then, of course, Shigenda playing the Lee Sin.
I would like to see the Gwen in between, because then you have the playmaking potential with the AP and the AD, and you can run to whichever lane you want.
Very nicely done. And talking about their playmaking and moving around the lanes, Niski's going to lock in the Rise. So we'll be able to see how this plays out. Exactly like you said, Bwipo, Nocturne jungle for the first time in summer. And yet another game, the third one in a row. Trouble that we just have two team compositions that really want to go in, that really want to brawl.
You know what really sucks for a team that wants to go in but has a lot of melee such as Vitality? Ryze. Diving into a Ryze that can hold you in place, Alistar that can throw you back, Tristana that can buckshot you away, a Set that can also take you away. Fnatic have drafted so many tools to yeet Vitality's composition away to another map.
I love that, to yeet them away. And of course, what is Croucher going to do on the Ziggs? How will he handle himself? The last few seconds ticking down. It does look like it is Selfmade running the Lee Sin in the jungle. So compositionally in champions, I love the picture you painted of how Gwen's AP profile could have benefited them. How does this now change your perception of the draft? Selfmade Lee Sin, Shigenda playing that Gwen up top.
So I really like it because the brawl potential when you have with Leader onto the Yone and Selfmade onto the Lee Sin can be insane, right? The only thing that's really hard is playing the Lee Sin against a Nocturne. The shield is just so influential in the 1v1. You can shield the Q and then Lee Sin will never reach you in a 1v1. So when you meet the Muscatl, when you meet him in the river, you have the upper hand as Nocturne.
Oh, can they find out? Let's find out as we hit the rift. It's Vitality versus Fnatic. As we hit the rift, my stats team and production team let me know that in the LCK early today, the Ziggs Leona was played twice.
I'm not surprised. They love late game scaling, and Ziggs does just that. One Q can hit you for 700 and 800 damage with 3 items on the champion. And if you look on the other side, the Nocturne, the Ryze, and Tristana are extremely squishy. You poke one of them, they have to move out of the fight.
Yeah, they really do. And it's Vitality with the first move here. Shigenda running the Teleport Ignite in the top lane. He's not going to find any targets as Fnatic did not present any. Taking a look down the rest of the summer spells. Nothing too interesting or exciting to speak of just yet, but also the teleport for Crownshot could be very, very powerful. There's 3 on the side of Vitality, and he's also got such powerful push with the wave clear and the AoE.
Yeah, and when you have your ultimate, you can also wave clear other lanes as well. You can walk towards your bot, throw your ultimate in the mid lane, and then free Leader off of him roaming. Because a lot of times we're like, yeah, Leader is really good at what he does, but he leaves lane a lot. His CS is not that high, but when you can wave clear for him and free him of this burden, he can actually walk around the map with Selfmade and make plays.
Ooh, let's see what this Yone does. It's one of those champions that's also very sort of hit or miss. Either has a huge impact on the game or falls flat, not being able to find the damage in fights.
I think what the important thing here with the Yone will be his ultimate can group up people. And once you group up people with the Leona ultimate as well, the Ziggs bomb is going to do so much damage. So I think Leader is looking to lock people in place so Crownshot's ultimate can land.
I absolutely love the way you've talked about that. Kind of a new age wombo combo of sorts.
It's a support assassin.
Support assassin in that way. But you can see Hyllisang and Upset, they're pushing very early on. They get the level 2 and shoving forward into Crown Shot.
You know why, Trevor?
LeBlanc. Tell me why.
Because they got that ward in that middle bush in the bot lane. It is so important. Whichever team gets that ward in the middle bush in the bot lane gets so much agency in the lane to threaten. And especially when you have to engage supports, it is so important to threaten the enemy ADC.
Yeah, and of course, as these supports gain themselves a few levels, there's a lot of damage to be played out. Adam is shoving this wave forward. Shigenda picking up a few CS and is under a lot of pressure in the top lane. Making his way back to the LEC stage, and just very quickly, want to compare the impact that Shigenda had in spring versus what we're seeing from SLT as larger jungle proximity for SLT. I think Selfmade spends a little bit more time up the top, and you can see the CSD and gold difference theoretically stronger for Shigenda.
I will defend SLT though. They didn't necessarily play for him because when Leader and Selfmade came into this roster, hold on.
Yeah, we'll finish the thought in a moment. His Leader will be able to escape with his life. Flashes away to safety. Somehow Fnatic don't make it stick. Selfmade arrives just in the nick of time.
Okay, that flash was beautiful last second from Leader because what goes in must come out, or the other way around with his clone, so they knew exactly where he was going to land. He flashes it last minute, but there's more.
There is indeed. The Dustbringer will tag LeBlanc, forces his flash, and the fear not going to be enough to hold him in place. Now Fnatic, they're pushing on the bottom lane. And so close for Leader. Flashless top lane and mid for Fnatic, but it's Crown Shot under trouble.
So far, it's deja vu all the way to the previous game. It was skirmishes from minute 1, and I think they want to die because look at LeBlanc's HP bar. He has no flash. I don't think you should take the 50-50 at this point, because given that Ziggs a few kills that early on, allowing him to get his lost chapter, his tier early, and having so much mana where he can constantly wave clear is not the best call for Fnatic, so they're gonna let it go for now.
Let it go, but they were waiting, looking for an opportunity, and Crown Shot was able to stick around. He's down 10 CS for now. While that's going on, Selfmade is now showing his face in the mid lane. Niski is flashless. Leader is just waiting, looking to step forward. Unbinds the soul, a lot of burst onto Niski, resonating strike for the kill, and first blood to Vitality.
Very well read by Selfmade right there. The wave was in a very bad position for Niski. He had no flash.
Oh, underneath the tower, the Ignite starting to burn Adam down. Cool guys don't look at explosions. It's not enough. It's not enough. Oh man, we held our breath as Shigenda was pushing forward, but he almost found that kill.
Cool guys indeed don't look at explosions because the cool guy right here was Adam. He's coming back to lane. Crucially, Shigenda is out. But again, I want to focus on the fact that the Selfmade Leader duo finds a kill over and over again in the early game, this time on Niski. They knew his flash was down, they knew his lane was pushed. He either had to push in and take the 50-50 with the jungle or pull back. He was in the in-between play. Selfmade insta-punishes him with Leader.
Very nicely done. Picks up the first kill. Has a minor advantage here for Vitality. And down the bottom lane, Crown Shot and LeBlanc get a little bit of time to breathe. Upset as well as Hilly have already backed away. So Crown Shot will clear this wave out, close the CS for now. And I think Upset will be in range to just about pick up most of those. As now Leader is doing very well in this middle lane. Had some support from the rest of the team and managed to have those flashy plays that you come to expect from him.
Yeah, and I want to jump back to Crown Shot 6 here because we've been criticizing the pool that Leader brings and how he doesn't have wave clear together with Selfmade and whatever the top lane plays. Crown Shot is all the wave clear that we'll ever need in this game. So something to keep our eye on for Fnatic going for objectives or going to push towers later on is trying to get a pick on Ziggs. And having the Tristana, having the set, having the Nocturne can very easily dive the back line and get onto that Yordle. Could be very important for Fnatic pushing towers.
That's going to need to happen because if Vitality can be the one starting the plays, we've already seen just how much damage they can put down and how mobile they can be, right? So both of these teams want to be playing forward. Both of these teams want to be proactive, and it's going to be Fnatic that pick up the first dragon. That's the mountain secured, completely uncontested. Number of Fnatic members making their way towards Leader, who is still flashless. Not going to be able to find the opportunity now. Well, we have a brief moment. The last time we saw Ziggs in the bot lane in the LEC was spring 2020. G2 versus Mad. Game 5. Caps actually played it. Tried to backdoor the Nexus. Failed.
Oh my god, that satchel on the Nexus.
Yes! Exactly the case. That was the last time we saw it.
Bad man.
Now Crown Shot today. See what performance he can have. Still down, CS. He's got himself the chapter. And you can see Hyllisang stepping forward. He's fishing for opportunities, but it is Vitality with a small lead right now.
I'm actually surprised that the Fnatic bot lane didn't shove in the wave really quickly to reset and go towards the top side of the map, because Adam had a reset right now as well, so it would be the perfect time to swap them and try to go for the Rift Herald once they secure the Dragon as well. They can obviously do it later on once they have their level 6, because I feel like level 6 is a huge power spike for Fnatic. The set ult, the Nocturnal, the Ryze ult, the Tristana ult are so important for how they want to play the game. You mentioned how everyone wants to play in each other's face. I feel Fnatic want Vitality to play in their face. They can back off and then re-engage with the Nocturne ult.
We're going to call this the Yeet comp. I think the way you framed that was fantastic.
I think it's perfect.
Like the Showstopper, the Buster Shot,
the Alistar.
Headbutt. You know, there's a lot of tools that Fnatic can use to choose when they want to fight. Now, sort of similar to a degree, obviously, with Selfmade and somewhat with that satchel, but it's going to be no swaps yet. Neither bottom lane has recalled and made their way top for the Rift Herald, and instead, we're going to have a potential 2v2 here in the mid lane. That's the engage. The knock-up comes out from Leader. The flash is fantastic, and that keeps Nisqy alive. Enough time for LeBlanc to arrive, and it ends up being a flash from Nisqy only.
Yeah, another win here from the side of Vitality. Remember when they took the first flash, they insta-punished Adam, though.
Oh, he manages to flash for his life. Shigenda just missing out on those skill shots. But tell me what you think of Shigenda's performance in a moment or two. He's playing aggressively into Adam as LeBlanc will find a stun onto Hyllisang. Look at the river. A Selfmade and Leader are making their way down. There's no paranoia from Bwipo, and that's the body slam coming out. Now Shigenda's the one that's in trouble. Ignite available to him. Pops down the mist and is just punched to death. Adam gets the solo bolo.
I think you kind of jinxed him there, because he's like, I'll let you tell me about Shigenda's performance, but he's been doing really well. He's been playing aggressive, and then he instantly gets punched by Adam. Adam, who has been so good at evolving inside Fnatic, and it's been something that Vedius also mentioned as well. When you do invest in really, really young talent, give them time, invest in them, help them, and I think that Fnatic has helped Adam grow so much. From someone who's getting pressured and ganked and mismanaged his waves to actually solo killing people on the top side of the map. That was beautiful stuff.
It was really well done, and I think punishing the plays. You know, Shigenda's been pushing, but trying to force the advantage. And he ends up stepping a little too far forward, manages to get dunked down by that Showstopper. And that will be the first kill for Fnatic. That evens out the gold at 10 minutes. It is still 1 kill apiece. The Herald is still inside the pit. Now Hyllisang will get tagged by the Sonic Wave as well as the Zenith Blade. That's a knockup from the Pulverize. Leader stepping forward. Fate Unsealed's not available, but the Solar Flare is, and Selfmade goes down. What can Leader and LeBlanc do? So far a 1-for-1 as both junglers are traded. Hilly will be the next to fall. Stakes on the menu. Crown Shot gets taken out by Upset, and he's got a minion wave to farm as well. The fight is still going in the top lane, and it ends up being a 2-for-2.
And Upset very crucially made it a 2-for-2 right there, or Fnatic would be losing. Great stuff coming in from Upset, who, yes, he's not that flashy in the 2v2, but when he sees the opportunity, he goes for it. Crown Shot dies with his flash available as well. He didn't get a chance to use it into this 1v1, but when it comes to the rest of the map, we talked about Leader and Selfmade. They don't care about resources, they care about bringing it in your face, and that's exactly what they do. They find Hyllisang right there, LeBlanc is roaming, he's in the middle, so there's no Nocturne ultimate very crucially, and they choose to go in onto a Hyllisang that pops his ultimate, and then they're like, okay, we're gonna back off. Really beautiful knockback right there from Healy to bring Lee Sin back into the hands of Ryze, but there's just too much damage coming in from the Yone, and here after you see it, he jumps back onto Crown Shot, gets the reset on the jump, and back again. I don't think there was a chance for Crown Shot to flash anything there.
No, I think he's too far forward. I mean, Kraken Slayer was completed. I think it was available for that fight, I'm a little unsure, but great work by the observers, highlighting Upset, knowing the damage profile, knowing how much burst he has, and finding the solo kill. So Upset is up 20 CS in the bottom lane. Leader, however, 100% kill participation on this Yone, 2-0-1. And with the help of Vitality, we'll be able to unlock the first Rift Herald of the game. We are still dead even as we're moving now towards this first sort of, you know, tower pressurizing phase. On the bottom lane, Fnatic making their way towards Upset. And the rest of Vitality Could go top, could go mid, and we'll see what decision they want to take.
Yeah, Paranoia is absolutely, you have the chance to go wherever you please, and it's going to be mid.
It is going to be mid, indeed. Good knocker by some time from Leader, but not enough. Adam's going to buy even more. The showstopper's still available. He gets the dunk down. Adam is finally taken out. As now the rest of Fnatic have arrived. Shigenda's left inside the mist. That's going to do a lot as Needlework is fired out. The knocker from Hyllisang sends Vitality to the fountain. And LeBlanc will be the last man standing. Flashes over the wall, chased down by Bwipo. Manages to get the auto. The Dustbringer, the Fear should just about seal the deal. Fnatic pull ahead.
Oh my god, Hyllisang is playing out of his damn mind this game. The pushbacks, the headbutts, the pulverizers, he's everywhere and anywhere, and he plays this fight so well. It's not just about pressing your buttons with the Alistar, it's finding the right key moment to do that, and now the right key moment is to dive leader. He's used his shadow as well.
He has indeed. No ultimate available, no flash available. Adam's going to step forward. There's so much CC. 1, 2, pulled back, locked in place, and Leader just gets taken out. Teleport from Adam pays off. That's the 8th kill of the game. That's the first tower secured, and Fnatic are flying ahead, nearly 3,000 golds.
We mentioned how it's hard to stop a Ziggs, which has a lot of wave clear, but this Tristana is so strong that we saw the Upset took the 1v1 under a tower onto Crown Shot. 5 tower platings, first tower gold going solo to Upset's Tristana. This is going to be massive. Again, Hilly sees the shadow being used, Hex flashes over the wall, and we said once the Paranoia is active, we know Whip was gonna press it on cooldown right there instantly. And Adam is so fed, and he plays this so well. He survives for so long that this whole thing allows Niski, Bwipo, and Hilly to come in with the Rise ult and seal the deal. But what's very important is that Hyllisang is so patient. He waits for the Shroud and then triple man knock up. The only reason Brov didn't get knocked up is because he hourglassed out. It would have been a triple. Hyllisang, I don't know what it is about Alistar performances today, but they're so good.
We've had fantastic Alistar knockups today, and that's allowed Fnatic to pull 4,000 gold up. No, 3,500 if I do my math correctly. The Herald was dropped in the mid lane, so trying to put some pressure onto Niski's tower. He's 3-1-3 on this Rise, by the way. Mythics completed for the members of Fnatic, and they've just got, it feels like an answer to what Vitality have done, but do not discount the AoE and the burst damage that can come out from this composition, because Vitality, they're not yet out of it, but it's starting to slip away here.
And here's the thing, we're talking about the damage that will come out, the Ziggs that will come online, but a lot of times in Vitality losses, you don't see a lot of Crown Shot. You don't see a lot of his plays. You don't see him moving in. Because even though he's so good when Vitality is ahead, and he will go in and he will try to make the plays, and he will try to engage, and he will be flashy, when Vitality is behind, he kind of goes invisible. I have sometimes said that he's sort of like Reckless, where he will try to farm, and he won't be the reason his team loses, but he will neither be the reason that his team wins.
I get that, and I think when you look at this team as well, there's so much priority on Selfmade and Leader.
Absolutely.
He has a slightly different role to play.
I think it's kind of like a bromance between Leader and Selfmade. You see them going everywhere together, and it works for them. They've been in 3 kills each, but they've also died twice each.
They have, and more importantly for me, it feels as though the play style or the decision-making from Leader's been punished. Fnatic, when they have set up ganks in that mid lane, it's been around the cooldowns. Once again, Leader's ultimate doesn't lead to anything specific. The Paranoia, as well as the Realm Warp, as well as the rest of Fnatic arriving to the fray, that's going to force Vitality back. Bwipo takes a big chunk of damage, but once again, it's Fnatic. They're pushing forward. They've got the tower pressure. They're trying to get deep vision. Now they're going to be able to look for more. No ultimate from Leader, and Upset's looking for yet another tower.
Bwipo is just honestly so proactive with his ultimate. Every single time Paranoia is up, he's going to use it on any target he can see. And honestly, the rest of Fnatic just seems to follow. A lot of the fine lines of what we say between an Inter and a hero is the team following up. And I think Fnatic, this iteration of Fnatic with Bwipo in the jungle, with him shot calling and playing like he does, they just follow him as the leader, and he works.
Yeah, it really does. But it's going to be very interesting, because you're going to remember that, you know, Schalke had a bit of a surprise loss. Fnatic had a bit of a surprise loss to Schalke last weekend, and it was from a big team fight play. The opportunity, the possibility still there. We're 1 minute and 40 till the next Dragon.
That's where I think that still Fnatic is superior here, though.
I mean, they've shown at these fights. But can Vitality find their way in? If they were, how would they do it, Trouble?
You need to lock someone down, you need to make picks and try to put pressure on the map with the Ziggs. A Ziggs is like a mini Tristana, right? Or even Tristana, because they're both Yordles, they have the same height. But what he does really well is that his Satchel can execute tower, so you need to use the power of Crown Shot's Ziggs to try and get some pressure. Look how low this tower is. No one is around him to help him take this tower. And that is something that a lot of times Vitality does. They just leave Crown Shot on his island. Here they need to use him. He is the weapon to take in the mid lane tower, because once it's down, Sigenda onto the Gwen gets unlocked, the Lee Sin gets unlocked, the leader on his assassin gets unlocked, because the vision will just go away for Fnatic.
I think that's so crucial. We're 50 seconds to the Dragon. Crown Shot not able to take that tower just yet. The Rift Herald was used. And in actual fact, all three outer towers are still standing for Fnatic. Lebrov and Selfmade with the help of Leader. They're looking at Adam. He's got the flash, he's got the showstopper. Knocked up, knocked into the air and taken down. Teleport is now being channeled and Niski arrives. The paranoia was used as well. So part one of what you wanted to see. Find a pick. That's what Vitality have done. And now they're making a play for the Dragon. Selfmade's jumping onto Bwipo, but takes so much burst from Niski. It's Selfmade taken out. Now Leader's jumping back around. Bwipo goes golden as Hyllisang stays alive thanks to the ultimate. He gets a headbutt forward onto Shigenda, but the mist protects so much. Shigenda gets taken out by Niski as he's not going to be able to find the Realm Warp. But now Vitality have got the numbers advantage. 3 versus 3. Upset is split off. They're trying to run him down. Flash and cleanse is available. Adam has respawned. The teleport is now going to put him back in the fray. That's a flash forward from Crown Shot, looking for Bwipo. Bwipo stays alive just long enough. One more hit finally takes him down, and Leader dies yet again. Now Crown Shot's on the menu, and Adam, with the help of Upset, take him down.
Honestly, that is immensely good kiting from Fnatic. We said that's what their composition was built to do. Kite you backwards as you engage them, and they played this so well. You should see Niski, his happy feet. He was actually walking around the place, dodging Ziggs bombs, dodging his ultimate. Upset wasn't even there for this entire fight, and they still ended up winning it out of literally outplay. So you see this is a 4v5, it's a 3v2 right here. You see Niski's positioning. He gets Selfmade instantly, walks out of the Ziggs ult, walks back in, and then when he sees too many people around him, he starts kiting backwards. What does he do? He takes the Gwen on him, that he flashes through and executes instantly, baits them thinking that he's ulted away, and this is where Upset comes in. And while they've won so much time, Adam has respawned from the previous gang, and honestly what Bwipo does here is just beautiful to watch.
I cannot believe Adam was able to respawn, jump in, and actually close this one out. But I think for Fnatic, they've just got the tools, they've got the answers.
He'll take that.
Bwipo's pretty happy with that one.
That, yeah.
And as we come out of the replay, it is now 6,000 goldies, 3 dragons to nothing. But Niski just melted Selfmade. Selfmade took one step into the jungle, and he was gone. He's what now, 6-1-3, I think. 20 kills in 20 minutes, quietly as well. Well, not so quietly. Upset 3-0-1. He's a terrifying Tristana.
Here we go again.
A swing and a miss. Comedy of errors as absolutely nothing finds their targets. But there's not a huge amount to play for, so I think this will just sort of reset, slow things down. And again, reminder, 4 towers to 0. Fnatic have just answered everything Vitality have had.
And the 7,000 gold in the lead at this point with 3 dragons to their name. Fnatic don't have to pull the trigger for another 3 minutes. It doesn't matter for them, because once they get the Ocean Soul, all these assassins, all these champions doing damage, they won't matter as much. Because the way Fnatic are kiting the fight, that Ocean Drake is going to benefit them so much. They can kite, heal up, go back in.
Yeah, they can, and I think the Riftmaker was just picked up there by Shigenda, so really challenging. He had so much opportunity, was so close to picking up some of those kills early on, and it didn't work out. And now all of a sudden, Adam and the rest of Fnatic are just moving around the map. They're doing a better Ziggs than Ziggs as Upset. He's got a 50 CS advantage, and this tower is just being melted.
It's honestly really sad to see how lonely Crown Shot has been with such a big tower-taking weapon. And again, this is the Leader Selfmade show, which hasn't necessarily worked to their favor because they're both 2 AD champions. You need some AP damage to come through. Riftmaker just got completed from the side of Vitality on Gwen, but Fnatic's already on their second items.
Yeah, huge difference. And I mean, upset. Infinity Edge Rapid Fire Cannon completed as well. Shigenda may be the target. Paranoia is channeled, and Bwipo can't find someone to jump onto. Mist being very valuable. The rest of Vitality
I swear it's on
away.
cooldown. I swear, the Paranoia, Bwipo hits it on cooldown. He uses it to deny vision. He uses it to trick Vitality into thinking they're getting engaged on and they don't know which side from. I think it is so genius, the fact that Bwipo applies pressure. This is like mental pressure. You don't know if you're getting engaged on because 50% of the time that Bwipo has pressed ult, they haven't engaged.
Psychological impact cannot be denied. And look at the gold on the side of your screen. 11,700 for upset, 9,800. And then leader and crown shots. I mean, very, very impressive performance. Fnatic with 1.5 minutes to go until the Ocean Soul will be on the menu. They can just sit back. They can just wait. They've now got the itemization advantage significantly. They've already demonstrated that they can execute the team fights. Their ability to yeet Vitality away has led them to a very good position. And now it's just a matter of wait and see. Force Vitality's hand and then knock them out.
They're the first ones to back. You see that Labrov is just backing right now, which means that Fnatic will take first dips into the bot side river, make sure that they put down their vision, maybe set some really good wards for flank. Adam's TP will be up and available. Niski has his TP up and available as well, and try to make plays. Very crucial. Guardian Angel has just been purchased by Bwipo. He goes in, he'll come back to life to haunt you.
Yeah, exactly. Get that reset button. So if any of the assassination power from Gwen is successful, just even more difficult. I mean, look, this is now the start of the second half, right? Both of these teams faced off against one another. There's Fnatic sitting at 6-3 right now in a very good position, but when you see the fact that, SK just picked up a win and Excel just took a loss, this 4, 5, 6 position
I love this.
Very, very interesting.
I love this.
Through.
They took bot possession of the map at the start, and then they allowed Vitality to walk in to try and take it back, and now they're starting the Baron. They're so fast. They can actually deny vision with the Nocturne, and they're doing this right now. It's gone.
Teleports is already channeled there by leader. He's arrived, but can the fight go Vitality's way? LeBlanc channels the Solar Flare. Fate and Seal finds nobody. Upset's on a rampage. He's already taken down LeBlanc. Leader's burning. That's the second for Upset. Turns his attention to self-made as Niski that picks up the kill. Baron secured before the teleport even completes, and 3 quick kills to Fnatic.
That macro movement for Fnatic is just so impeccable. They went bot side of the map because they reset first. They put down their vision. They're like, we know what Vitality wants to do. Stop us from taking Ocean Soul. So what does Vitality do? They go bot side and they try to take control then. While they're doing that, Fnatic is like, cool, we're just going Baron because you can't get here quickly. And when they tried to get there to steal, Bwipo pops the Paranoia and they're denied any vision they had. Honestly, it is so beautifully and calculated played from Fnatic. I love how Bwipo uses Paranoia not just to engage, but to take control of the map. And they take the Baron in the end, and they take the Soul as well.
They take the Soul. It's an 11,000 gold lead. Now the teleport was being channeled as the Paranoia was thrown out. But look, Baron's secured already, and unfortunately, if you don't hit your targets, you can't win the fights.
The fight doesn't even matter at this point, because Fnatic is not stuck in a choke point, which means that Crown Shot cannot hit all of them together. Yes, he pops the ultimate onto Niski and Upset, but Upset flashes it, and Niski hourglasses it. So basically, that huge big bomb that we're expecting to melt someone's HP bar never hits anyone. And again, if Fnatic are not bundled up in one place, Crown Shot Ziggs cannot hit a lot of them.
Yeah, and neither can Leader as well. I think that ultimate was straight between the uprights. Multiple members of Fnatic peeled away. They're able to get out of position. It was not the ideal engage, and that has been the case sort of time and time again. And for Fnatic, this is a very, very strong showing. I think Niski's Ryze, 7-1. Actually, every single one of Fnatic again has done very well. I think Adam, with some of the more entertaining plays.
He's absorbed so much pressure though, because he's been engaged on, but he earned so much time for Fnatic to do something else. And again, Bwipo, that shot-calling leader, he's so good at quickly pulling the trigger on something else around the map that is just so interesting to see. You can say Adam is feeding. Adam is not feeding. That's tactical.
Yeah, exactly. Tactical inting. It's about sending a message, Trouble.
Exactly.
That's exactly what the case is. Well, this Red Bull Baron, a power play, is working in favor of Fnatic. Hyllisang will get jumped on by multiple members of Vitality, but they can't even get the kill. The Showstopper comes down. The base is opened up while this is happening. Mega Inferno Bomb comes out. That's a kill for Vitality. Turn their attention to Adam, who continues to buy time. The bottom lane tower is now going to fall as well. So 2 kills for 2 inhibitors. Fnatic will say, deal, #worth.
they can actually look to finish the game right there. They're trying, but Vitality will be back because they were very close. But the key thing again right there is that Bwipo uses paranoia to make Lida and whoever else was in the top side think they're getting engaged on. If we see the replay on that engage on Adam and Hyllisang again, you'll see that the second paranoia goes down, they move back. They don't actually want to kill the Fnatic members. Guess who never shows up? Bwipo never shows up. It was against a conceal of them trying to take both mid and bot inhibitors. Again, you see that Bwipo, he's like, okay, we're pushing mid wave because Upset has a huge wave with him. Hyllisang is babysitting Adam, he's out on the top side. And then Lida, Sigenda, and Labrov are trying to engage. The second paranoia goes down. Look who moved back. Lida and Sigenda, they're like, okay, peace out. Because Bwipo's coming in. Bwipo never showed up. And they took two inhibitors for free.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say free. I think the trade of kills, right, to be fair. But it was the goal. That was the plan.
It's where you type in ult at worth.
Yes, exactly, exactly. Super Minions are now going to give Fnatic even more control. And that gold lead gets extended. 2 minutes until the next Baron, 3 minutes until Elder. If the game goes that long, then Fnatic have got all the control in the world with the Super Minions. But I don't think they're going to need it. I think they've got the power, they've got the goldie, they've got the item advantage. This is a GA on Upset as well.
They have two Guardian Angels, they have a stopwatch onto Hyllisang, they have an Hourglass onto Niski, they have Sterox onto Adam. They can actually dive Vitality right now, and Vitality doesn't have an answer because none of them has an Hourglass except Gwen in the top lane. Kryze doesn't even have a stopwatch in his inventory.
No, he doesn't. Will it prove problematic? Shigena gets jumped on, puts the miss down. Paranoia comes out and dash away. Adam goes low, but the shield will come up, and Bwipo fires the Paranoia. LeBlanc will stay alive a few seconds longer. Selfmade finds the kick. It's onto Upset, but the GA is now popped. LeBlanc actually dies. Here comes the resurrection. That's a kill onto Hyllisang, followed by Upset, followed by Bwipo. Two members left. Niski flashes forward, trying to find a little bit more. Shigenda is staying alive so incredibly long. Niski goes golden thanks to that Hourglass and Crown Shot. Throws the satchel. The tower will be able to pick up the kill. That's 4 for Vitality.
Whoa, a little bit too far forward. The overextension for Fnatic. We said they had the tools to deal with it, the two Guardian Angels, the two stopwatches plus Hourglasses, and then in the end they end up overstepping and dying. We said they'd have to be bunched up together for Crown Shot to get a huge ult and all his bombs onto them, and that's exactly what they did. They bunched up together underneath Vitality's tower, so I'm excited they want to fight. It's still 9,000 gold deficit for them.
Exactly. Imagine if it wasn't a 9,000 gold deficit and how that fight had played out. But I think you really highlighted the perfect point. Fnatic watch as they bunch up, and a lot of this AoE can land, and Shigenda survives so long.
He does. That immunity is absolutely insane onto the Gwen and just dodges so many of the ultimates right there. And the dive onto Labrov. Who cares if Labrov dies? You need to get the carries in the backline. Crown Shot is free hitting them underneath their own tower all this time. And I think this is literally what made the difference in this one.
It really did, and huge kudos to Selfmade. He managed to find the play, pick out Upset. You kick him out of the fight, and the fact he was in GA for so much time allowed the rest of Vitality to focus down Fnatic. There's still 8,000 gold difference. You can see Upset 2,000, Crown Shot 7,000, but that's because of Selfmade, right? Selfmade made that play happen. All of a sudden, Leader will go down. He loses his flash as well. It's a 50-second death timer. There's Super Minions inside the base.
Look at that. Bot lane is pushing all the way. Fnatic is pushing from the mid. They've also pushed up top tower as well. It is a siege happening in Vitality's base, and Lida is not there.
There's no flashes available for Selfmade to find the pick this time around. His needlework is available. Realm Warp will it get taken? Hyllisang as well as Niski. Now they turn their attention to the Nexus. Oh, that's a multi-man knockup from Hyllisang. Adam jumps into the fray, manages to find the kill until LeBlanc. The Nexus Star is taken down. They turn their attention to the Nexus. Selfmade jumps in, but it won't be enough. Fnatic looking for a couple extra kills before they finish off the game. And they find themselves yet another Fnatic takedown Vitality. Fnatic were impressive.
Honestly, the way Paranoia was used in this particular game, I don't think I've seen it being used before. The mental that you need to keep if you're Vitality every time Bwipo presses Paranoia, you're like, is he coming in? Is he not coming in? Is he using it for another fight in the map? Is he not? It was amazing to watch, honestly.
It really, really was. Leona, Ziggs bottom lane did not have the same success for Vitality that it did for T1. Didn't really have a lot of support either. We talked about it during the mid-game where Crownshot had the ability to pressure on towers.
It was so lonely.
Didn't work out. If you guys are on Twitter, vote for Kia Player of the Game. Whippo, Nisqy, and Upset.
You know what to do. You know what to do.
But I do think when you look at this Vitality comp, and we talked about it a little bit, there is a predictability or an anticipation of how Vitality like to play the game. And I think specifically with how the ganks and the roams from Fnatic got advantages against Leader, it's one of those things that I feel like they were in his head, you know, reading his playbook, and Fnatic got the better of it.
I mean, honestly, Selfmade lived in Leader's mid lane, and yes, they managed to get a couple of kills early on, but ultimately we said Crownshot was your weapon. You needed to use him to take towers, and once you got isolated, Upset, major step up for Upset. Every time Crownshot would step up, he would just take him out, but honestly, I think Whippo is living in Vitality's head rent-free after this Nocturne performance.
There's no doubt about it. Congratulations to Fnatic, and of course, next up, Rogue Misfits are tied in first place, and after the break, they'll clash to decide who's the top team in the LEC.
We're done!
Peace! High five!
I think it's very fun to play competitive. I'm a competitive person. I try to compete in most things I do. I enjoy the competition.
Pit who can take this one, shockwave from Larson. Can it be enough? It's getting lower. Larson takes it. It's massive.
I think Rogue actually has X factors. I just felt they lost a bit of composure and cold head in the finals.
Burned down by the Elder Dragon buff. Misfits, they're making it work. Caps on the run. Kami in the back line. Elder Dragon doing work. Burned down one.
Welcome back to the LEC as Fnatic takes a decisive victory against Vitality. Hyllisang, it's so great to have you here. How does it feel? How does it feel to come back to the LEC studio?
Hello. Yeah, it feels very nice to be back and play on the stage. Even though the audience are not here, it still feels very nice and satisfying to play on a low ping and to have the feeling that you go to an event and do something that is very nice. So I really like it and I missed it a lot. Sadly, the audience are not here to make it exactly the same as before, but it's still way better than playing from office.
It sounds like you're really positive about this return to the LEC studio. How has the other Fnatic players reacted to playing in the LEC studio, especially Adam, who is relatively new to the stage?
Honestly, everyone was very happy, but mostly I think Adam was extremely excited and he just couldn't wait to play on stage, and it showed. I think he didn't play much different than from office. He still won lane and stuff, so he showed off big time, and I think stage helped him as well. I think everyone else was very happy as well, but I think Adam was extremely excited, so that's it.
Yeah, and it certainly did show on the performance. Okay, a brief question about the draft, because I have to ask about the Ziggs pick. Crownshot did opt to Ziggs, which has been a successful pick over at the LCK, but what was your own thought about Vitality's bot lane choice and how did you try to counter it?
Honestly, I think we were ready for the Ziggs. We saw that he played it and we were ready to not really counter it, but we expected it, so it wasn't really a surprise. I think the strategy is not bad to just wave clear bot and make sure that you can help them up with the ultimate, or just wave clear with your ultimate and just throw Q from far away, kind of like Ezreal pick, but it's AP damage, which they had Yon in mid lane, so it wasn't too bad, but it didn't work out very well for them because my Tristana managed to solo kill him behind the tier 1 somehow, so I think they can do better than that, but I think the idea is not too bad. Also takes the towers very fast with Herald. You can take 5 plates instantly, so there is for sure potential. Yeah.
And Fnatic did have a good early game, but also I think Quickshot and Trouble was commenting how good Fnatic's macro was, using Nocturne's ult to rotate around the map. Who's the shot caller or a mastermind here, or is it just simply Fnatic hype mind?
There's no one really the mastermind. I think it's usually people would talk for the rotations, and honestly everyone contributes by a lot in this team, and everyone speaks their mind and what they think they should be set in the game and what we should be doing, but we all add up to the plan, and everyone kind of somebody gives an idea and everyone contributes to the plan and makes it better, and that's why I think it looks very good and very clear. But it's someone's idea and everyone adds up.
And thank you so much for this insight, Hyllisang. This is my final question. I believe that with this victory, you have picked yourself as a 3rd place in the LEC. But what is the one thing that Fnatic has to do in order to challenge the top 2 teams such as Misfits and Rogue?
Not sure what exactly. I think we just need to be aware of what enemy team is doing, because sometimes we're too caught up on what we're doing and we get surprised. And I think this game we were aware of what the enemy is doing as well. So I think this is the next step. And if we're playing our game and everyone is solo killing the opponent like in this game, there is no way we can lose a game. So that's it.
We'll look forward to it. Once again, congratulations and best of luck for the rest of the LEC.
Thank you.
Thank you. And after the break, Rogue and Misfits will be battling for the 1st place in the LEC. So please stay tuned.